Hello, so we are in the very messy bowels of my room right now. My room is a disaster. I'm sorry. But so I did this makeup look a while ago. This is like maybe my third time recording the review part of this video because I keep on going back and forth. And the more that I have been wearing this eyeshadow, the more I have been liking the palette. But there's still like, let's just get into it. So the palette I'm talking about is the Makeup Revolution and SOPH palette. Give you a little Vanna White right here. It retails for $12. Not bad at all. And it is a very warm tone palette. Let us go ahead and look into it. The packaging for me is weird because it's ultra eyeshadows, 12 ultra professional eyeshadows. It's very redundant. But what just flew out that has a plastic insert with the names for the eyeshadows. And then these are the mirror up here. It's a good mirror. And then we have our eyeshadows down here. So 24 shades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like 14 mattes. And then the rest are a shimmer metallic. As you can see, it is a very, very warm tone palette. And even then, warm tones, but also very, like, muted colors in general. And by muted, I mean it's a very kind of soft feel, if you will, for how everything looks in this palette. Even, like, the green and the blue and the purple that you have here all have a very soft, muted, warm tone to them. And hands down, the standout of this palette are the mattes. They work far better than the shimmers, in my opinion. I think that this palette is pressed a lot harder than a majority of palettes nowadays. There's not a lot of kickback when you use it, but you do need to go in a little bit more to get more product on your brush. And while these are not the most pigmented, they do build up and they do blend out nice enough. So these are not the most pigmented eyeshadows. They're just not. But the mattes definitely are blendable and you can build them up. The black was like, okay, used it to darken the outer corner of my eye. The white right here, the matte white, not the most pigmented. It's a lackluster white. Especially because I'm used to using the Kat Von D one, which is, bam, it's just white in your face. It's really good. And I like, though, the fact that even though it's all warm tones, that none of these shades are the same. So you've got, like, the oranges over here, and then dusty mauves, like kind of a mustardy brown here, a black. It has a really good range of colors, which I appreciate. Hands down, the disappointment in particular is this purple color right here, are the metallic sheen, whatever you want to call them, eyeshadows. Yeah, they're not the best. The purple one in particular is my least favorite of all the metallics. I really had to dig my brush into it, and it didn't work well with my finger. It didn't work with a dry brush, which didn't surprise me. And it wasn't until I had tried using this color so much and packing so much on that eventually me loosening up enough eyeshadow in the palette and then spraying it with, I don't use Fix Plus, but just spraying it with a setting powder so that I could foil the eyeshadow. That is how I got it to how it looks right now. And I think it looks really pretty right now. If I look down, you can see. And I think the makeup look I got looked really pretty, but I had to work with the purple eyeshadow a lot to get it to look how I wanted. It wasn't as easy as I would have liked. On my lower lash line, you'll see it in the tutorial, but I use this light green color, which I think actually is probably one of the most pigmented out of all of the like shimmery metallic colors in here. This teal color right here that's really popular and you see everywhere, that's got like a black base. It's not my favorite out of teal colors. It was like meh. It pulled more black than anything else, or like a dark browny black. I didn't get as much of the teal as I would have liked out of it when I used it. This pink one right here, not anywhere close to being opaque. You can see it adds a nice shimmer on my inner corner. It's really hard, I feel like, to get an opaque pink shimmer. Like, doesn't matter if you're high end or low end, it just seems like one of the trickiest formulas. So I like this palette. I don't love it. I don't hate it. The longer I've had it on my eyes, because I've had it on for a couple of hours and the eyeshadows have been lasting well. So I do think you could wear this for a whole day if you do kind of the regular makeup thing where you prime your eyes and then set everything with a setting powder at the end. Not setting powder, sorry, setting spray. It works well, but I would say this is good if you're getting it for like someone who's just starting to play out with makeup, or like a kid, or if you're looking for an affordable makeup that's going to have a lot of the warm tones you see. This is going to have them. It's just they're not my favorite. I hate to say that because this is a collaboration. It's with SOPH and Makeup Revolution. That's why I got it, because they actually did a collab with someone instead of ripping off someone else's thing. So that intrigued me. But their shadows just are not my favorite formula, and it's not... I don't know, they're just... Yeah. It's not a bad palette, it's just... I like it the more I've had the eyeshadow on my eyes, because I realize I like how the eye look I did a lot looks. And you can definitely work with these. It's not like you can't create things with this palette. You can definitely create things with this palette. It's just, it's not my favorite. For $12, it gets the job done, and it can give you a variety of really pretty looks. It's just not my favorite, if that makes sense. Yeah, the shimmers were kind of a big letdown. Not a big letdown, a little bit of a letdown for me. I have liked more recently like some BH cosmetic palettes and whatnot that I've gotten. Yeah, that's kind of it. I will say this, another good thing though, as far as color payoff goes, what you see in the pan is very much what you get on the eyeballs. I'm not going to do swatches for this one, just because yeah. Just because it's not something Is it lame to say I don't know swatches because this isn't a palette I'm passionate about? That might seem lame. But what you see is actually very much what the colors look like. So as far as swatches go, what you see in pan is pretty much what you're going to be getting. And these aren't going to swatch well, to be honest, so I don't want to waste my time swatching them when... If I'm doing like an honest swatch for you, they're not going to look great. But yeah, so it's not a bad palette. I just don't love it. I hate saying that. But if you are looking for an affordable palette, this could definitely be one for you. Other palettes that I really like are like the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. For warm tones, NYX has a lot of really good warm tone palettes. There's a variety of other things that are in this price range. Morphe, depending on how you feel, I know they can be a little controversial, but I don't know. As you can tell, I'm really conflicted on how I feel about it. Like, I want to like it, and I like it because I keep on looking at my makeup, and I really like how my makeup look. So you can get a really good look with this. You just have to know how to work your eyeshadows a little bit more. Give them a little bit more effort. So, yeah, I'll leave you with that. It's a really pretty palette, though. The color selection on it is great. And like I said, the mattes work great. You just have to work. You just gotta work your shimmers a little bit more. But I'll go ahead and swing you into the little tutorial for the eye look that I have got on my face right now. And then this video will be donezo's. I hope that you found this helpful, even as conflicted as it was, in that I like it, but yet don't like it because there's so many... But anyways, enough of that, into the tutorial. So to start off, obviously grab your palette. And yep. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. But before we apply eyeshadow, as always, we are going to prep the eyeballs, I like to use concealer, just, blend it out, and then I'm going to set it with the white in this palette, and I'm going to pat it all over my eye, so from my lash line all the way up to my eyebrow. Then we're gonna, hydrate a little bit. And then going in with this light brown color, it didn't have a lot of kickback, which was nice. I'm going to start on the outer V of my eye and start blending it all the way towards the inner corner of the eye. So as you can see, we're taking this line all the way, doing a somewhat even distribution of the color as we blend it up towards the eyebrow. There is a bit more of the color that we are leaving on the outer V. Since we're starting on the outer V, that's where there's going to be the strongest amount of pigment, but we still are blending it pretty much all the way to the inner part of the eye and just buffing it out. Now we are going to go into the lovely purple color, which is where things started to go from really, yay, I like this palette, to, okay, not so great. So here we are applying it with the brush. As you can see, not a lot is happening. This was okay. Then I went in with my finger, and it got a little bit better, but still it was very lackluster. Normally, if something doesn't work well with a brush, I'm like, okay, it doesn't surprise me too much, but it really should apply well with a finger. And as you can see, I am getting more pigment going in with my finger, but it's still pretty dull looking. And it's funny, it's not that there isn't pigment necessarily, even though it's kind of more of a light wash of pigment, it's that it is still dull looking. And bear in mind that I'm editing this video, but I am building it up a lot. So then the, who knows how many layer of this color I'm putting on my eyelid, I finally ended up just foiling it, and when I foiled it, I very much liked it. It's, as you can see, the intensity is more there. It's not dull. It goes to a nice deep cranberry actually color. It looks more purple in the pan, but on the eye it actually has more of a cranberry feel to it, which I thought was interesting how the color kind of changed once it was on the eyeball. All the other colors stay actually pretty true to color except this one, which didn't pull as purple as I was expecting. But anyways, I'm just putting it all over the lid, taking it up a little bit into the crease, and then blending it out with a small, dense, little, kind of fluffy pencil brush. I am using a tiny amount of the purple on the brush to help blend it out, since there wasn't a lot of product to, kind of blend, and I didn't want to lose the color we worked hard to build up. Now taking this pink color, we are going to, I just automatically foiled it. Didn't want to waste my time, so automatically foiling it. It is quite a pretty color, and then we are just blending it from the inner corner of the eye till about 1/3 of the way in. And I am just using those stippling motions, going back and forth to really get a good blend on it. Then we're going to go in with this dark black, but it's not really dark black. It looks black in the pan. It's a good black for darkening a look, but not necessarily a good black if you want a black. And we're just taking it on the outer V of the eye, placing it, and then blending it with just a big old giant fluffy brush. And then to finish it, going in with this teal color that's common everywhere, we're applying that to the outer part of the lash line, actually kind of just tracing the whole lash line with this, and then blending it out. I did notice this color doesn't pull teal as much as the base, which is kind of a dark blue-brown, really pops through more. If you foiled it, I'm sure you'd get more teal. And I am then going in and blending it out even a little bit more with just that really light color. Originally I blended it out with no additional eyeshadow, and then I added the transition shade to make the blend just a little bit smoother. Then going in with this light green color, we are doing the inner part of our lower lash line, and this was really pigmented. As you can see, I was like, oh snap. So I was very pleasantly surprised, and then just taking this and blending it in to the darker color that we applied. Now with the white color, we are going to do an inner corner highlight in a matte white, and then we are also going to highlight our brow bone. This white is okay. It's not the most pigmented white by any stretch of the imagination. It did do a good job with the brow bone highlight. It wasn't intense enough or pigmented enough though for me to give the inner corner highlight that I wanted. So this right now is what we have got. I really like how this eye look turned out, which I think shows that, you know, even if the palette's not your favorite, you can make it work using specific techniques. And then to finish the eye look off, we are going in and doing the waterline as well as the upper lash line, and I'm just using a brown pencil for this. Pick whichever one is your favorite. And then go ahead and throw on mascara, eyelashes, if you like. And then that is it for our eyeballs. I went ahead and threw on kind of a neutral brown tone lip to complete everything and throw it together. I really, really like this eye look. I think that this palette has a really nice color selection to it. They all kind of have this nice muted quality to them that works together really well. So I do like this palette, even though it frustrates me a little bit with how that purple color really performed. But as you can see, once I foiled it, I was able to get great pigmentation from it. I think, you know, the mattes blend well enough. I think for the price point, you can do a lot with this palette. You know, you can work with it. It requires a little bit more work. It's not going to be a palette that blends itself for you, but I think, as you can see, when you work with it and, you know, you foil your eyeshadows and just do a couple little extra things here and there to get the most out of the palette, you can build all the mattes up and you can get what you need out of it. But I guess I recommend it. But have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are, and goodbye.
Champs.